probably one of the biggest firearms mistakes in a major blockbuster movie is in the movie The Matrix. Neo in that lobby scene has got two scorpions and he's going off with them. There is 5.56 brass coming out the bottom of the guns. And it's like it's a 32 ACP firearm, but you've got rifle brass dropping on the floor below it.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of The Gun Rack, SDI's podcast on everything firearms. I'm your host, Christian Sakara, event coordinator. I'm here with my co-host, Steve Ross, director of marketing. How's it going today, Steve?
Hey, doing great. Thanks everybody for joining us on another episode of The Gun Rack. We got a special one for you today.
Okay, what do we got? What you got a question for me? I think.
Have you ever been inspired by a movie to buy a gun?
So my favorite movie series, John Wick series, hands down.
A lot of
'cause
options
I love
there.
violence and guns. Yeah. So
You bought a pencil.
all the TTI stuff, awesome. But I have not bought one because
that
I do not
wasn't the
have
question. I'm
budget.
saying if you ever bought a gun from a movie.
I have not. I have not. But I
Okay.
do want to. So
Okay, and the
that's
Terran
kinda-
Tactical is on your list to buy it.
Yeah. Yep.
What
So-
what manufacturer do you like the Sentry stuff too? Do you want the Terran Sentry?
Yeah. So the Canic, and then I
Canic.
think they have a Genesis shotgun, which would
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah, I got to go out to Terrence's place years ago after John Wick, and I got to shoot his range, and I got to shoot the John Wick shotguns and the Terran pistols. And I shot there with all the girls that shoot at the range and Terran, and I was nowhere near qualified. I should not have been allowed to shoot in that place because I'm not nowhere near as good as shooters as they are. And I have video. I look so slow compared to everybody else, but it was fun. And it's like, oh, when I see those videos on YouTube of actual celebrities there, I'm like, yeah, I was there. That was cool.
It's like you're a celebrity.
No, I just play one on TV.
Okay.
I
Well,
have made
the reason-
I have made a gun purchase inspired by a movie, and I brought it with me. Do you know what it is?
It's a gun.
It
It's
is
a lever gun.
It is a lever action.
Yeah.
4570
What's it from?
Jurassic World.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
This is the
Is it
gun
about
that
dinosaurs?
made famous with Chris Pratt, and he shoots, I don't know, like a raptor in the face
Oh
or
yeah.
something with it. I don't know if he actually
Or
even
something.
shoots any dinosaurs with it, but I will say yeah, it's a newer one. I think Lost World had better guns with like the hunter guy in there and the like their setups. I think that was a better movie for sure. But I'm asking today because I know you know who our special guest is.
I should. I'm the host.
Yeah, you should.
And he'll be able to better talk about movie guns than I am. Let's do a proper intro. If you've ever paused a movie to fact check the firearms, you're in good company. Our guest today has made a whole YouTube channel out of it. He's the man behind Hollywood Guns, and he breaks down the guns of cinema with the precision of a gunsmith and the passion of a movie buff. Welcome to the Gun Rack, Wilson. How's it going today, Wilson?
It's going great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate being on.
So,
Yep, if anyone's not familiar, Wilson is with the channel Hollywood Guns, where you can go get educated on guns and firearms in movies.
yeah, well, let's have him tell us. Tell us about your channel. What's Hollywood Guns about, Wilson?
You kind of got it there. It's my firearms collection over the last 10 years. Since I've been in the US, I've been in the US about 20 years. You can probably tell from my accent that I'm
I
British.
thought you're from Montana.
Sometimes people think I'm from Alabama, which is strange, but
Not Australia.
yeah. So Australia. Okay, fun fact: British
ship on the
people, our
Barbie.
voice is quite. Yeah, sure, exactly. To tell the difference between an English person and a Australian, English people's accent is quite, the cadence is quite flat. Um, but Australian people, they go up at the end of the sentence, mate, like that. So
Yeah.
if somebody's got that kind of up and down cadence, they're generally going to be Australian. If not, they're going to be English. And let the hate in the comments begin now. So,
Yeah. I don't hear color. So
okay. Fair enough. I'd stay away from that. But so coming back to your original question, why did I start the channel? So after collecting firearms for about 10 years in the States, I would be on YouTube all the time, on all the major channels that we all watch, researching different firearms and learning about them, and then making purchases. And I looked back one day and I realized that nearly everything in my safe was a gun that I had seen in a movie. And it was generally in movies from when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s growing up. And I sat and I thought about like what had led me to coming to the States. And it was as a kid, watching American movies and TV shows like The A-Team, Knight Rider, Rambo, all the Schwarzenegger movies.
Yes.
That those role models and that positive attitude that was always in every American movie, where the guy gets the girl and the good guy wins and things work out in the end. That's what inspired me to come to the States. So I kind of set my course. And it took me 20 odd years to get to the States and be able to live here fully, legally. And then of course I
Nice.
began collecting guns. Yeah. And then so from there, I looked at all the firearms in my safe and I was like, wow, that's from Terminator. That I saw in Jurassic Park, and so on. And it dawned on me that there wasn't a YouTube channel that specifically focused on movie firearms. And talking to my friends, um, at the range and just around the neighborhood and stuff, it came back to that question that you asked at the beginning, which was then when I asked people why they bought guns, the most obvious reason was they're a tool, so I need them for home defense, hunting, things like that. The second most common reason is that they saw a gun in a movie and they wanted it because they thought it was cool. And so it puzzled me that there wasn't a channel that specifically focused on that. Sure, most of the YouTubers do videos here and there on movie guns, but there wasn't a panel that helped the audience find out exactly what gun they had seen in a movie, so that they could lust over it and potentially buy it. So I thought, okay, I have zero background in filmmaking and cinematography. I'll learn it and I'll create a channel just for fun as a hobby for myself. And then I launched it in October of last year and it took off. And so it's become a thing now. It's become a huge passion project for me and I love it.
It's crazy, just going from a place where it's really difficult to get guns in the UK, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so how long ago did you move from there to the States?
So I actually remember the moment where I decided that I was going to come to the States. I was on the Pacific Coast Highway um, with a friend of mine who then became my business partner. We were in a convertible Mustang driving north towards Malibu, and we were following a Corvette in front of us. And I looked at him and I was just like, we had the ocean on our left side and the sun's kind of coming down. It was that golden hour. And I looked at him and I said, this place is amazing. How do we move here? And that spark led us to basically start a business. Um, and every decision we made for that business was how it could get us closer to coming to America. And the short story is we invested everything we had to build a business in the US. And then as it grew and employed a ratio of, I believe it was like 8 Americans, every time we employed 8 Americans, we could move somebody out from the UK. So my business partner moved out first when we got to 8 employees, and then I moved out second when we got to 16. And that was kind of our vehicle for moving to the States. So I got here in about 2007, 2008. I finally qualified for the visa to move here. So that's when I got here originally. And then it was a long process to get to a point where I could get to a green card and then become a full legal resident of the country.
Yep. I have a question for you. It's more about your background. Is and obviously in America, Americans are known for loving guns. How does the gun
Yeah.
culture differ between America and the UK and Europe and Britain? Specifically, like,
Yeah.
does like were you kind of the odd man out for loving guns in Hollywood movies, or is that pretty common?
I would say it's hugely common. The second largest market for my audience is in England. About 50% of my audience come from the States, according to YouTube demographics, and about 10 to 12% come from the UK. And, staying away from the politics a bit, Britain did have a pretty big gun culture until about the 1980s. And then there were some mass shootings, and the government took away most of the rights for people to own, let's say, recreational or home defense type firearms. I'm not up on all of the gun laws now in the UK, but I believe you can have rifle caliber hunting rifles and shotguns. There's still a very large hunting community in the UK for 12 gauge, and similar shotgun calibers. But the licensing process is extremely difficult. And I actually did grow up shooting guns. I grew up first shooting air rifles. I lived on a big piece of land with my dad was a gardener basically, and so we would shoot rabbits in this garden and squirrels and things and eat them. And then that progressed to shotgun hunting with friends. We used to, hunt for pheasant and other wildfowl, pigeons, ducks, and things like that. So I grew up shooting from an early age. Yeah, so that's how it was for me. And I think now in the UK, there's still a lot of people that do that. So yeah.
How long was it before when you were able to purchase a gun? How long did it take to purchase your first gun here in the States?
Pretty much as soon as I got my green card. You can't, if you have a visa, you cannot own a firearm in the States. But once you have a green card, you can do that. So that's about 10 years ago.
Well,
What
then you
was it?
said you found yourself having a safe full of guns. How did you go from buying your
Yeah.
first gun to having a safe, maybe multiple safes now of guns?
Okay, so first gun, and then I'll get, then the others. So the first gun I bought, um, it's crazy. I bet this is not anyone's first gun, was a Keltec CMR, the little 22 Magnum carbine. And I bought it because it looked like the RoboCop gun, in all honesty. And I just thought it was really, really cool. So that was the first gun that I bought. And then from there, then after that, I bought like a home defense, shotgun. But again, my shotgun was a bit of a strange one. It's a Vepr 12. So it's not your typical kind of pump action shotgun. It's a semi-automatic Russian AK platform shotgun. Um, so yeah, that's kind of how I sort of got into it. And then from there, it was pretty much movie guns after that.
When you buy your guns now, or even though that starting process, you feel like you bought them more for like uniqueness or just coolness factor, or did you have more of a purpose? Like you said, like, no, I'm buying this just for home defense, or are any reasons or rhyme or reason to your gun purchases?
Over the period, do you mean, or now when I buy a gun?
I guess just starting out. Like, did you notice any trends like, hey, like I'm buying this gun because it's cool, or it was inspired by Hollywood guns? And is that
Yeah.
how it all started?
Yeah, it was so I ticked a few boxes first on, like I bought a hunting rifle. I hunt here in Arizona. So I got a Weatherby in 30-06. But yeah, it's pretty and then I got my first pistol, which was Beretta 92. Um And so then I kind of had, I had the main boxes ticked, a hunting rifle, a sidearm, for home defense, concealed carry, things like that. But then after that, I would go shooting a lot and I was kind of off to the races. And it was pretty much about movie guns from that point forward. Um, I've never been into modern firearms, especially polymer frame firearms. So whenever I was thinking, okay, what do I need next? It was, I'd settle on a type of firearm, like a pistol caliber carbine. And I was like, oh, got to be an MP5, variant. Um, so I went out and bought an SP5. So every time, oh, and in case no one caught the association, Die Hard, obviously. So pretty much every time I decided I needed a new segment or type of firearm, I reached back into my memory of the movies that I'd seen a similar firearm in, and then I kind of coalesced around that as the choice.
In those early days, was it challenging for you? Like, was that before IMFDB existed? Like, how did you go about the process of like trying to track down an exact model of gun just from a movie?
Yes. So IMFDB has been around for 20 something years at this point. So I discovered that very early on. And that was my, go-to. In fact, now, like, I've struck up a really good friendship with the people at IMFDB, and you can see all of my videos on their site too. Um, so, um, but yeah, early on, I would do a mixture of YouTube research and then to get an approximation. Most YouTubers, if they're talking about a movie gun, they probably won't have the exact model of that movie gun. They'll have the variant, a Beretta 92, but they won't have a Beretta 92 SB from a specific movie like Behind Enemy Lines. Um, so I would get the approximation just from watching YouTube videos, and then I would go to IMFDB and kind of research it. I also used a bunch of different forums early on, but eventually I've stuck with IMFDB. Like occasionally they get things wrong, but very rarely. And usually when I think they're wrong and I put it in a video, to my chagrin, I find out later that they were right and I was an idiot. So
That's the
yeah.
best way to
I
find
think the big
correct
man to
information
admit
on the
his
internet.
mistake.
Yeah, make a mistake. Before we go for it, can you maybe explain what IMFDB is for people who don't know?
Yeah. So it stands for Internet Movie Firearms Database. I'm not sure where they got the name from, but I suspect it's from a reworking of IMDb, which is the Internet Movie Database. So that's kind of like the big film repository of information for movies and TV shows and things. So IMFDB specifically focuses on the firearms used in movies, TV shows, anime, and video games. So if you ever like you reach back in your memory or you're playing a video game and you're like, what's the gun in that particular thing? Go to IMFDB, type in the name of the video game or the movie, and it's going to give you a list of all the guns in that movie. It's an almost exhaustive list. It's a huge repository of work, and I believe that there are many, many individual contributors, if you like, that work free of charge. They're passionate people about this subject, and they do all this research on their own dime, and then they bring that together into like a wiki style format.
I was on there while we were doing some research for the slideshow movie clip challenge we have for you here later on. And then I noticed that your videos were coming up. I was like, huh, Wilson's a big deal. Look at him. He's on the official Internet Movie Firearms database. So
Yeah, no, I mean it just turned out to be a friendship. I reached out to them and we got talking, the guy that runs it. Um I just said to him, like, would there be any value in you adding my videos to the pages where I've talked about a particular movie or a particular firearm? And he was like, yeah, I'd love to have them on there. So yeah, I guess it helps each other get more exposure, and it's a good value add for the audience. If you're looking up a movie gun and you find it on their site, well, then there's a video that can play in the background that if I've talked about it.
well, for those who have not been to your channel yet on YouTube, talk to us, take us through that. What are some of the coolest guns that are on there? What are your most popular videos from the movies and what movies? All that.
Yeah. So my early videos were kind of the first movie guns I bought, really. Um, and if you watch the first few videos were when I was starting out as a YouTuber. I think I've got a bit better since, like, well, not even a year since I started doing it. It's crazy, but it seems like forever ago. But so the first guns on the channel, if you want to see what a total greenhorn YouTuber looks like, was the Dirty Harry gun, the Model 29. And then that was followed by I think it was the Beretta 92, which I talked about. Most people think of a Beretta 92, they think of Die Hard. But I made the argument that Lethal Weapon made the Beretta 92 more famous than Die Hard. And a weird fact is that the 92 that Mel Gibson used in Lethal Weapon, the exact same prop was reused by Bruce Willis a year later in Die Hard. Um, so, and then, of course, one of my favorite movie guns of all time. Oh, it's this one. I didn't mean it to go that way, but this one here is the AMT Hardball alongside. It's one of my t-shirts. Um, this was the this was the movie gun. This was the gun that when I purchased it, it really hooked me into buying guns from movies. Like I could not believe when I was watching The Terminator that I could go out and buy this gun. It took me a while to find one. I haven't got the mock laser sight with it, but like a 7-inch long slide AMT hardball. That's a very, very cool gun.
Is that the
And
is that the
yeah, so those are
gun? Is that the gun in the movie? Like, as a prop, they had to like wire it to a battery in his pocket to keep the laser on.
exactly that. I believe it's an early, it's, I think it's a Surefire. It was the company that became Surefire. I might have that wrong, but it was one of the companies that became a red dot laser sight, kind of LEM company. And you're right, they basically had a huge battery pack. And if you watch the gun, it comes up in the scene where the Terminator gets hold of Sarah Connor in the nightclub, and he's walking towards her, and the beam of light is on her. If you look closely, he has his other hand underneath his armpit, and he's holding a massive battery pack that's powering
That's why.
the
Okay.
laser on that particular gun. Yeah. Mm. So, so those are my early videos. The best performing videos on my channel, um, I can think of three immediately. The first one, this is a huge reason why I came to the States, the A team. Like the A team, everyone in the A team had Mini 14 factory folders. And they're not the HD5 High 6 variant, which is fully automatic. They are semi-automatic guns because that enabled them to film across state lines back in the 80s. So when you see them like shooting fully auto fire, you can actually see their fingers going like this as they do that. So that was so I've got a video on that. It's an early video. I think it's like the fourth video I ever made, and I have to say it's the most fun video I've made. So if you want to watch a video and really get a sense of like why I love doing this, watch the A-Team video. There is a montage that I built of clips of the A-Team with the theme tune in it. And when I was doing it, I was like laughing to myself in my studio here as I was editing it. And my wife thought, she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "This is amazing." So anyway, that's my favorite video that I've made, the A-Team gun. And then my two best performing videos are on the P30L from John Wick, the original John Wick movie, um, and the Beretta 92 with the ALGI mech compensator on it from Leon. And about those two guns, so the P30L, I ended up videoing that because a viewer reached out to me who lived in Phoenix, and he was like a super fan. I get lots of super fans of different movies reach out to me. And I featured like their guns and their accoutrements, if you like, of their fandom on the channel. But this guy, if you remember the John Wick movie, the box that was in the concrete floor that he
Hmm.
dug up, this
With the
guy
coins.
met with, yeah, he met with the armorer, and the armorer gave him all the dimensions and the entire specification of everything that was in that box, the knives, the smoke grenades, everything. And he rebuilt that box, and he reached out to me and said, "Do you want to make a video on it?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, I do." So I made a video on that particular gun, and he had fabricated an exact replica of the muzzle device that is on that gun. And a kind of spoiler alert is it looks like a compensator, but it's not a compensator. It was a blank firing adapter. So that's my second highest video of all time. And my first was Leon. And again, another super fan of the movie Leon reached out to me. And I've been trying to get a compensator that is on a Beretta 92 from Leon. They don't exist. They're rarer than like hen's teeth. And this guy reached out to me, and he was in France, in Paris, and he said, "I've got two. Like, can we collaborate somehow?" So I showed him how I set my studio up, and he bought the little bit of equipment he needed. And it turned out he's a professional photographer as well, which was awesome.
That's
And he
awesome.
videoed his gun in France, sent me the footage, and then I edited it in and made a video. And that is currently my highest performing video. And of course, that gun is extremely rare. I've never seen another algemic compensator in the US
Any
ever.
any videos that surprised you that did really, really well?
Um, Probably probably the other way. Videos that did not do very well, two spring to mind. The first one was I got to film an M60 for Rambo, First Blood. And that video like just hasn't done very well. It's like 20,000 views, which is quite low for the amount of views per video on the channel. And I was like, how could you not want to like watch a video with Stallone, the original kind of like big gun, big movie kind of thing? So that one surprised me. And then another video on my channel, which has not done well, but I think if people take the time to watch it, is incredibly interesting. Is I did an interview with a filmmaker, a movie director called John Moore, and John Moore did Behind Enemy Lines, Max Payne, and the final Die Hard. And unfortunately, the two latter movies were very badly reviewed. However, if you were a gamer, you didn't like Max Payne. I was never a gamer, so I watched Max Payne and I thought it was a great movie. Um, with the final Die Hard, I'm a total Die Hard fan. So I didn't really like the final Die Hard movie. But again, but when I was doing the interview with him, I just watched it and tried to think of it as, not in my everything after Die Hard one is awful kind of mindset. And I was really impressed when I talked to John about the care and attention that he gave to that making that movie. He and the team really gave it their all to make it a really good final Die Hard movie. And it's a shame that it kind of bombed with the audience. So, but again, if you listen to that interview, he is so interesting. And just one story that I got from it that I thought was amazing. It is he was telling me that if you've seen Behind Enemy Lines, have you seen the guy that Sasha that is hunting down Owen Wilson's character? He's wearing an Adidas tracksuit in it, and they approached Adidas and asked them if they could use their merchandise, and they said no. So they tore off one of the strips so it wasn't an Adidas tracksuit. And then Rockstar Games saw that, they incorporated that character in Grand Theft Auto. And this was one little nugget that just came up in an hour and a half long interview with John. And I was like, I don't think no one has ever heard of that fact. That's not known. And so again, if people get time listening to John Moore talk about the movie making business and firearms is to me was very, very interesting.
How much do you incorporate video games as well as cinema into your videos?
Unfortunately, I don't. Yeah, um I completely missed video games growing up. I was I'm just an outdoor guy, like I said. I was always outdoors, hunting, fishing, building camp, playing army, that sort of thing. So I never was a video gamer. So, but I have a lot of video gamers on the channel, and I read all the comments, and they're always like telling me this gun was in this video game, and I always feel guilty that I can't really engage with those comments because I have zero knowledge in it.
It's
I'm
okay
gonna
to go
start
out and
playing some
touch
video
grass.
games then. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I've got a
See,
7-year old.
we're of opposite spectrums. I'm the nerdy guy with all the monitors and computers in here, and then Steve's the hunter, so
Yeah,
he's out there.
Yeah, go out and touch
absolutely.
grass,
One
kids.
thing I wanted to go back to, one thing I
Absolutely.
wanted to go back to was Leon, because when I grew up, so in the States that was an international title, Leon the Professional.
Yeah,
Here it was the Professional, but I think I saw that first when I was like 9 or 10, but
yeah,
it made me want to be an assassin, like a
yeah.
child assassin. So I
Just like
tried
Natalie
to get
Portman in it.
in,
Yeah,
with my mafia ties or whatever I could do, but it never. But here I am. So, or
yeah.
maybe that's what I want you to think. So, but if you haven't seen The Professional, go see The Professional. It is such a good movie, and if you can get the international one, it has more scenes with Natalie Portman doing some work as well, or training that's
Yeah,
not in the American release. So
well, the funny thing is that's the director's cut, and I had never seen that. I didn't see that until after I think it was after I'd made the video, people started commenting on these scenes, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And so I went back and I like found this director's cut and watched it and saw all of those different scenes. So yeah, for the viewers, there's a bit where Natalie Portman, she's at, the first time you see her with a gun, she shoots some dude in a Central Park that's a politician, and that's the end of that in the movie. You don't see anything else, but in the extended cut, Leon takes to a drug dealer's house and he shoots him with a paintball gun, and then he shoots him with someone else. But but yeah, those scenes are not in the original movie.
Are there any movies? So are there any movies that are more accurate? What's the most accurate movie that you've reviewed, gun wise, firearms wise?
Yeah, so just taking a step back for the audience. So I talk about the guns that are in the movies, but half of my videos I focus on a specific gun in a specific movie, and then I have a segment where I analyze the accuracy from a layman's perspective, my perspective. I'm not a professional in this, but I try and analyze it and say, how realistic is that movie? And I look at like, do they use the appropriate amount of rounds for the gun before reloading, or do you just get unlimited magazine? Um, and then I look at, when you shoot someone, do the laws of physics apply, or do they go flying across the room? And
Or
then
go around
finally, is the
corners.
character, the shots they're making? Yeah, exactly. Equilibrium. Yeah, just like does the is the can the character be reasonably assumed to make the shots he took? So Leon's a professional hitman. Does he, could he make those kind of shots? Um, so I have been surprised that some movies I thought were going to be highly accurate were not. And the other way around, some movies that, like comedies sometimes, it turns out that they were very accurate in terms of their portrayal of firearms. But anyway, to your point, um, I think that probably the most accurate movie I have seen from a firearms perspective, I have not actually reviewed it this way on the channel yet, but I've included clips from it in multiple episodes. And I think it's The Way of the Gun, um,
Yeah,
with Benicio del Toro, and I've forgotten the name of the other
Ryan
guy.
Philippe.
Yeah, and it's got James Caan in it, and that is an amazing movie. And there are some huge gunfights in it, and every single one of them, like I counted the shots, they're never over magazine capacity. They miss way more than they hit in these gunfights in panic mode. Um, they do things like one-handed, like we've got 1911s, and they're dropping the mag out and pulling it out, and then they're kind of racking the slide by digging it into something because they've been shot at this point. But I think that's a very accurate movie from a firearms perspective.
I'm watching that today. I have not seen that in forever. It's such a
It's
good
so
movie.
good. Yeah. And then the other one as well, my favorite movie of all time, Heat. Like that's super accurate too. Yeah.
What about the other side? What movies stand out to you with the biggest movie sins?
The A Team. That's the one I think. Like those guys, they never hit anything. And and then they never hit anyone, but they always hit the engine block, and they always seem to hit the tires, and the tires of the cars that are chasing them are over pressurized, and it blows the car into the sky. Um, so yeah, the A Team is not very realistic. Um, I'm trying to think if any other ones spring to mind. Not that it's very unrealistic, but a movie that has an absolute massive mistake in it that I never thought when I started preparing the video I thought it was going to be a grade A throughout. It's going to be absolutely perfect. And that is Collateral with Tom Cruise. Everybody knows the scene where he's in the alleyway and he goes to the robber guys. He goes, "Yo, homie, is that my briefcase?" And then he executes a perfect two-person Mozambique in less than a second and a half. And um, that is one of the most reviewed scenes, one of the most practiced drills that comes from a movie. That Mozambique drill right there. And Tom Cruise's work, I've got a whole video on this, but Tom Cruise's work and effort that he put into firearms accuracy for that movie is amazing. And then you get to the kind of the biggest gunfight scene is in the nightclub. And Tom Cruise's execution of his shooting, he's like he's like John Wick 10 years before John Wick came out. His shooting style is what you see in films today that Taron Butler has advised on. He uses competition style movements and shooting, um, and it's amazing work. And then there's this nightclub scene where he takes on a whole bunch of people, and he fires at least 18 rounds out of a 12 plus one USP 45. And I watched this scene over and over and over again, thinking, I've got something wrong here. There's no way that Michael Mann and the crew that made that movie made that mistake, but they did. So that was very unexpected.
You feel things like that could just be like an editing issue? Did they have him reloading and they just didn't put it down on screen?
So yeah, and a lot of people in the comments said that. Like, I want to be 100% wrong on this, and I'll look for any excuse and I'll take it because after Heat, Collateral is a very close second in terms of my favorite gun guy movies. Um, but the way the scene is filmed is it it's edited together as a one sequence in time that so you're supposed to be seeing the whole thing in real time. So there is clearly no time where the camera is away from Tom Cruise where he could do a tactical reload or anything like that. The camera is on him the whole way. So but lots of people in the comments um pointed out that it was probably an editing mistake because I'm counting the gunshots. And people pointed out that there's this scene where he appears to take 6 shots, and that's the main thing that screws him up in that scene. And yet every other person you see Tom Cruise shoot in the movie gets 2 shots or 3 shots. So why would there be 6 shots to this guy? So if you start taking out those 6 shots, you just get to the magazine capacity. So again, I think it was probably they edited in multiple gunshots, or just so yeah, I want it to be an editing mistake because it is absolute top tier, firearms gunplay. Other than that,
I love seeing in like those like B and C quality level movies when you can tell they just downloaded like a 3D render of a bullet, and it's the casing and bullet and projectile all still together coming out of the gun. You ever seen movies that do that where they show they show a gun firing in slow motion, the bullet comes out and it's still inside the casing coming out of the barrel. Like they just downloaded the wrong file and then they rendered it out. Like, come on.
I think I saw a Bugs Bunny cartoon with that.
oh yeah.
Elmer Fudd.
Yeah, I'm sure it happens. But generally speaking, because like I put some, I'm producing episodes one a week. I got very limited time to concentrate on certain movies. So generally, the movies and the guns I'm interested in, I've not seen that level of mistake. But that does make me think of an incident in probably one of the biggest firearms mistakes in a major blockbuster movie is almost exactly what you just said there. And that is in the movie The Matrix, Neo in that lobby scene has got 2 scorpions and he's going off with them. And there's this beautiful scene where you see him from here down and you see the guns. Or sorry, I think the guns are out of shot, but there is 5.56 brass coming out the bottom of the guns. And it's like it's a 32 ACP firearm, but you've got rifle brass dropping on the floor below it, if you like.
Easily explained. So, just a glitch in the Matrix.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're totally right. People said that in the comments to me. They said that exactly. It's just a glitch in the Matrix.
Do you have a holy grail gun that you've yet to get your hands on that you are looking forward to doing?
I actually have 4. I'll tell you my 4 holy grail guns. And there's a 5th. Remind me for the 5th one. So 4 of them, I just got back to the States from England. I was at the Royal Armouries Museum in Leeds. Again, if your viewers have not heard of the Royal Armouries YouTube channel or the Royal Armouries Museum, it's amazing. It's believed to be the largest firearms collection in the world, in England of all places. And I went there because I've struck up a friendship with that channel, and I filmed some of the guns that are in their archive facility. And so I had like 4 guns on the list that I really wanted to record. First one, a Bren 10 from Miami Vice. I've done a Miami Vice episode, but it was on the Smith & Wesson 645 of later seasons. But everyone knows Miami Vice for the Bren 10. So I've recorded that, and that will be coming up on the channel soon. The next one was a Jatomatic SMG, which I I had thought did not exist. I didn't think it was actually a real gun, but they have them at the Royal Armories. And that one is in Cobra from 1986 with Sylvester Stallone. That's the SMG that he uses, and it also has a cameo in Red Dawn as well. So again, that's going to be coming up on the channel too. Um, then probably the third one is a minigun from Terminator, Predator. Um, so I got to handle a real kind of like minigun at the Royal Armories as well. And just in case anybody sees this, the works there is a company in Phoenix called Dillon Aero that make miniguns for the US military. And they're here in the town that I live in. And I'm trying to reach out to them to see if I could actually go out and shoot one of their miniguns. That would be incredible. Um, and then the fourth one, Holy Grail gun, M41A pulse rifle from Aliens. Not a real gun, movie prop made from the upper is a Tommy gun. The lower is a Remington 870 shotgun, and it's all morphed into a SPAC 12 4-end. And I got to hold one of only three surviving mini pulse rifles that were in the movies Alien and Aliens. There's only three that weren't broken down and reused by the prop house, and I got to hold one of those, and that's coming up on the channel. And then the fifth, the wild card, is actually the Wildy Magnum from Death Wish 3, I think it is. And that is that if you think the Desert Eagle is big, the Wildy Magnum is twice the size of a Desert Eagle.
Man.
And I think it uses some sort of rifle cartridge like the 458 Winchester Magnum. It's nuts. So yeah.
Well, Steve, should we do should we quiz Wilson a little bit?
Yes.
Test his knowledge? Okay. All right. Let's pull this up. So what we're gonna do, Wilson, we've got some clips of pictures from a movie scene. You just see a part of the gun. You're gonna get half point for getting the gun, another half point for getting the movie. So let's bring this up.
Some you'll have to take in some clues and some hints in the small picture we show you.
Golly, guys, come on.
I don't know how big your screen is.
I mean, like, for the audience, come on, this is not very fair. Well, it's so it's a World War II rifle. Looks like it might be a K98. Is it Enemy at the Gates?
It is.
Okay.
It is Enemy at the Gates.
And then it's so it's a K98, right? Mauser K98.
Let's see. I mean, it's Mosin Nagant.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
I wasn't.
I was trying to blow it up.
I got that wrong. I don't know why I was thinking of a German rifle, K98, if that is a model even. But yeah, I should have known that's a Mosin Nagant sniper.
You got the movie.
Point.
Great
Half
job.
point.
Yeah.
All right. This
easy.
one's a gimme.
Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, Style Org, and that's Die Hard.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no answer.
Wow.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
100%. Yes.
Okay. Confirmed.
I can elaborate too. Yeah. It not only takes place at Christmas, but it's about a man flying home for Christmas to spend it with his family. So
it would have happened if it wasn't a
movie.
Christmas setting. It is totally a Christmas movie.
Totally.
All right,
Yep.
next one.
Oh
All right,
my God.
Next up. This is also one of my favorite movies.
Like I said, you got to look at the gun, look
So
at
if that
some of the
helps.
actors in the background. If you can see just pieces of their face, you might be able to get it.
I only see it. I can't see that. All I see is a hand and part.
Okay,
of
we're
the-
gonna expand it out. This might help.
Oh, okay. I'm so glad I didn't go with my guess. But yeah, I know what that one is. That's Snatch, and that's the Desert Eagle .50.
Exactly. Doesn't say replica on it.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, now they get a little weird.
Okay, this has a bunch of guns in it, but the one in his hand is what we're looking at.
I think I got this one. Is it Tremors?
Yes.
It is Tremors.
It is Tremors.
I think this is
And
Steve's favorite movie.
yeah, and then that looks like a HK front sight. Oh, hang on a minute.
There we go.
Right, mag. It's all blurry.
That's
I might need a
the
couple of guesses to get to this.
you got the manufacturer
I would have
correct.
said it was an HK91. Yeah, HK91.
Yes, sir. 91A2.
Okay.
Oh,
This
that's
is
how
probably
deep
one
his
of my
knowledge goes,
favorite,
guys.
like
Tremors.
my
Uh,
favorite gun owners in a movie. You know, just like total preparedness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And
growing
by the
up with
way,
family ties.
I watched that movie when I was a teenager. Like, so I haven't watched it since I was a teenager. So that has like completely seared into my brain, that little
Yeah.
scene.
And we were
That's
talking
a good
before the
pull.
podcast
That is a
started
good pull.
about sequels. I don't think of any other movie that has gone off the rails with sequels like Tremors has. I don't know if you've seen any of them.
Yeah. I don't
There's
think I
like
have,
there's like
no.
9
Yeah.
Tremors and a TV show.
There's a TV show?
I love the way you pick the gun so that the front of it is sort of hidden by the thing in the background. That's really cool. I mean, it's looking like it's a Beretta 92, but um, just from that hammer. Can you give me a bit more of the picture?
All right, let's
hang
go.
on.
Full.
Oh no, if
Oh,
you
I'm
give the
starting to go
picture,
James Bond here.
look at the background.
Yeah,
take it
you'll
all
get the
in.
movie by seeing the picture.
Yeah, take it all in. So what are we on? We're either on a dock or a boat of some kind. Like the
This
living
movie
daylights is
is
shouting at me
famous
for the
for going
movie.
way over budget. It is I'm pretty sure it's a 90s movie.
Way over budget.
It is I don't know if there's a total opposite of a Bond movie, but you know, this might be up there.
Okay, all right, we'll stick with the gun. Am I on with Beretta as the manufacturer
No.
at this point?
No,
No.
All right, I'm gonna
it is
expand.
a post-apocalyptic.
Oh God, I was gonna say Waterworld. I was gonna say Waterworld.
But you didn't think we'd be this ridiculous to put in Waterworld.
No, what threw me off was like the little bit that you showed up, it looked like it was in a real city. I was thinking like it was Hong Kong or something like that. Okay. Yeah. So are you sure that's not a Beretta 92? That really looks like a Beretta 92. The
According
slide
to
cut out there
IMFDB, it is
and the
a
hammer.
Taurus PT99. Heavily modified.
Oh, come on. How am I gonna know? I mean, a Taurus PT99 is a Beretta 92 built in Brazil on Beretta tooling. You got to let me have that.
The rules are the
Okay.
rules.
Our knowledge doesn't go that far, that deep. So we'll give it to you.
Great muzzle device. Oh,
This should be an easy one.
I just did this. I just did this one in an episode. I know this is two Mac 10s, and it's True Lies.
Correct.
Boom. And as blurry as it is, you got it. We got more. Oh, now this one, when he put, I was like, you can't even see the gun. But
You definitely do not need to do that with that little pistol.
This one you may
Oh
not
my
see the
gosh,
gun,
this has
but
gotta
look
be
at the hands. Look at what he's wearing.
Yeah,
You might need
I
to put
am.
on
It's gotta
some
be 70s.
sunglasses.
because no one. Oh, okay, I got it. Roddy Piper. They live.
Yeah.
wow.
Okay, and the
Wow.
gun. What is that? I mean, it's small, so it could be a PPK. It's not PPK. It's something obscure. Is it like a Makarov?
Very
I don't know.
close.
I give up on the
looking.
gun. I'm not sure of the gun.
Beretta Jetfire.
Was it really? Ah, okay. Huh.
We got one more. Yeah, we got one more.
This one's hard, but this one is
We're just
for
trying
our
to make
British
it
friend.
tinier and tinier, apparently.
So this is a British one, is it?
Completely opposite of British.
Is it a Walter P99? Oh, okay. All right. I mean, it's a polymer frame something, so it could be a Glock, it could be a SIG, it could be anything that I don't know. But are we going with a Glock? Glock 17?
Glock 17.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
You are good.
And then
Can you tell by his sleeve and the desk what
it's-
movie this is?
It's a hard shot, but a very popular movie.
oh, no, we're not back to Die Hard, are we? No. Okay, for some reason, I'm thinking of a outfit that Val Kilmer was wearing in a movie. Am I getting
Not,
closer or further away?
not Val Kilmer. I'll say the actor in this movie is not American. He's not
I need the
Canadian.
rest of the scene. Not Canadian. Is he British then?
I think
Can
he
you give me
might.
the rest of the picture?
You'll know it as soon as we show you.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't actually know this one. Uh,
American
it's from the
Psycho.
70s, isn't it? Or the 60s? Is
Yeah.
he really? Is that Christian
Mm-hmm.
Bale?
Christian
Yep.
Bale.
Wow. I never, yeah. I've seen that movie and I love it, but I totally do not remember that scene. Huh.
You did
Man,
great.
you did so. I was like, I was like, Steve, he's not gonna get Tremors or They Live. I was like,
I guess I've been sort of swatting up on my movie guns.
that's impressive.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
impressive. So, well, for our viewers, Wilson knows what he's talking about. He does this for a living. So, if you need any film consulting or have any questions, hop over to his channel and put them in the comments. Steve, what do you got? You got anything else?
No, man, thank you very much. And we haven't mentioned it yet. We are, SDI is a big sponsor of the channel. We are a proud supporter of your channel. Thank you for working with us, and look forward to doing more with you, man.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed it. And now I'm thinking maybe I could do a video series on movie gun trivia. Like, that's a really neat idea there.
Yeah. And especially if you've got regular followers and viewers that, are commenting back and forth, your depth of knowledge impressed me a lot.
Thanks.
So,
Well, let me give a shout out to the audience of the channel. So, I learn huge amounts from the people on the channel. And that's one of the things I most enjoy about making videos is, the firearms and movie subject is so wide. And I feel like I have quite a wide knowledge. It's like an inch deep and a mile wide. And every time I put videos up, I get hundreds of comments from people that are really like what I would call like a pattern collector. They specifically know that firearm inside and out. So I get educated like every video I put up. I learn a ton of things from gunsmiths that are on the channel. And they teach me a lot about firearms technology that I had no idea. I've learned so much about suppressors that I did not know from people on the channel. So yeah, so that's probably one of my favorite things about the channel is learning from the people that make comments.
and so Hollywood Guns on YouTube. Is there any other places that you're on? Are you on any other socials people can follow you?
Not yet. No, my website hollywoodguns.com as well.
And so you heard it
Awesome.
here.
Well,
Go to Wilson's
go ahead.
Go to Wilson's YouTube channel, Hollywood Guns. Tell him if he's wrong in the comments, and make sure you correct him.
Yeah, it happens a lot, and I like it. I like it when people give me like a schooling on something.
Well, Wilson, again, thank you. From Steve, I've been Christian. Oh, also, if you want more information about our stuff, SDI, go to sdi.edu today, click on request information, talk to admissions rep, go through the whole thing. All the information's on there. But again, it's been a great episode. Wilson, thank you. Everybody say bye.
Thanks. See you soon, guys.